If you're a blogger or content creator looking for a strategy for how to repurpose your content for social media, opt-in freebies, products, and more, this video is for you. I'm going to be sharing a simple, repeatable 5-step strategy you can use to really streamline your content creation process. It's going to help you turn your long-form content into content you can share across your various platforms. This is going to be a strategy that, again, is going to help you save time, and it's going to help you grow faster and easier. And to make this even easier for you to implement, I have a special gift for you. If you grab access to my free travel blogger resource library via the link in the video description or the QR code on your screen, you're going to get access to 75 plus resources, all meant to help you grow your traffic, email list, and income, including this sample content plan and repurposing template. Typically, this is something reserved for my Travel Blog Prosperity members, but I've added it to the resource library for you to grab for free. You can see in this tab, it's the strategy explained. I broke it up actually into 10 steps here. I broke it up even farther with some tool suggestions. In this video, I've kind of streamlined things into 5 steps, but you'll get the full strategy here step by step. And then you can go also to the content plan tab where you can really get planned out here. So make sure to grab access to that. Feel free to even pause this video to go grab those resources. You back? Then let's dive in. Let's kick things off with step number 1, start with a piece of long-form content. A piece of long-form content would be something like a blog post, YouTube video, or podcast episode. In this example, we'll start with this blog post on how to make money selling travel itineraries. And then we'll move on to step number 2. Consider if there is a way that you can support it with another piece of long-form content. Can you embed a related video into your blog post? Can the audio from that video become a podcast episode? Can the script from your blog post be used for a video or podcast episode? You want to try to repurpose as much as possible. So if we look at this blog post is actually the show notes for my podcast episode. That's something I like to do to really kind of streamline things for myself, is when I write or when I record a podcast episode, I'm going to create a blog post to pair. And it's really easy because I can use the blog post as the script for the podcast episode. So we scroll down. Here's the podcast episode right here. And I do use a tool called Libsyn. That's my podcast hosting platform. I've set it up so that when my podcast episode goes live, it's automatically going to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, all the places. So anyway, little podcasting tip. So I linked to some spots here, prefer video. So that podcast episode has also become a YouTube video. Now we scroll down. You can see that here we are now into the blog post portion of it. So I'm hitting 3 platforms at once with this so far. Now, before we move on, I do want to share a platform that might be helpful to you. It's something I use and love for streamlining the content creation process, especially if you have a piece of content and you want to turn it into, other pieces of content for other platforms. You can see there are 88 different tools as of now. They're constantly adding new ones. We're not going to go over each one of these, but just kind of showing you there's a lot you can do here. So let's go back up and let's pretend, we'll just focus on what we've already covered. You can turn a blog post into a YouTube video script or a YouTube video into a blog post script very quickly. So let's say blog post to YouTube video script. We'll pretend I don't have a video yet for this blog post. Something really neat is you can choose your tone. So they have ones here, but you can also create your own tone and save it. So this is one that I gave to Write Blogger as my own friendly chat with flair. I'll just click that. You can also give it keywords to include, a point of view, first person, etc. You could share your target audience. You can give additional instructions, like include a mention of something. Hey, I want you to talk about this topic, etc. So and then there's the creativity controller, adjust the creativity level. just for time's sake, we're just going to generate just so you can see how it works. So you can see it's generating, and now you're going to have a place to start. So I just wanted to show you this. It's still generating the different steps. So this is really, really helpful. And then you can always go back section by section and refine as well. So anyway, I just wanted to show you that in case this could be helpful for you. It was made specifically for bloggers and uses the power of AI to help you streamline your processes and create much faster. Now, moving on to step number 3, don't forget your opt-in freebie. In every piece of long-form content that I create, I'm always sharing a relevant opt-in freebie. It is so important to be constantly trying to grow your email list with your target audience. Your email list is something that you own. It's not dependent on algorithms like all these other platforms. And when your new blog posts go live, YouTube videos, podcasts, products, you can email your list and get into essentially all of their inboxes. I mean, there are best practices to follow, but again, it's not algorithm dependent. So looking at this blog post again, we'll scroll. You've seen that. I have my travel blogger resource library opt-in callout, and I added an itinerary client intake form template. Again, this is about how to make money selling travel itineraries. So the main opt-in I usually share, I shared it in this YouTube video, is my free travel blogger resource library. And the reason it has so many resources is that I'll typically create a resource or add a relevant resource that pairs with the piece of content that I am promoting at that time. And then I just add it into a resource library for travel bloggers. And all of these resources work together to help them grow, again, the traffic, email list, and income. So another example, here again, this, I didn't really have to create anything. I actually shared my itinerary client intake form template. I just actually shared the intake form I'm using. But here's another example. This is a cheat sheet I created with the help of AI to streamline things based on a podcast, YouTube video, and blog post that I did on Instagram Reels. And it wasn't my tips. I actually got to interview Rami Travel at Rami Travel. She is amazing at Reels. If you are not following her on Instagram, go do that. But I basically took the content. You could use your video transcript, your podcast transcript, your blog post content, feed it to your AI tool of choice, and it can help you create, an opt-in based on that. So that's what I did here. It was based on the interview with Rami. And another thing to look at is the cross promotion. I want to make sure that anyone looking at or watching, reading, whatever, my YouTube video, podcast episode, or blog post about Instagram Reels is going to know that I have this cheat sheet. They're going to grab it. They're going to join my email list because it's an opt-in freebie. But somebody who maybe was just in the resource library and stumbled on this cheat sheet, or maybe they saw the video about Instagram Reels, they grabbed the cheat sheet, and now they want to go back to it. I want to make it really easy for them to go check out that content and really kind of keep them in my universe, right? So they can click here to listen to the episode. This also goes to the blog post because the podcast episode's embedded there, and the video version. And I'm kind of getting ahead of myself a little bit, but we should always be thinking about monetization. I, first of all, monetize my email list in a variety of ways, but I often have sponsors on my podcast. My blog has ads. YouTube, I'm on my way to getting monetized there. So the views help. I'm working on getting my views up. So anyway, this is a way also that I am monetizing my blogging business. So I hope that's clear. I know people get a little bit confused with the opt-in freebies and everything. So the questions are open in the comments below if any of that needs clarification. Moving on to step number 4, pull tips and clips to share on social media. So instead of showing up to each platform and thinking, okay, what am I going to share here? Just use your long form content as the foundation that you're going to pull from. What are the main tips? What are the little nuggets of wisdom, the anecdotes that people would find helpful that you can pull and turn into posts? So when my blog post goes live, I share it to Flipboard immediately because Flipboard values that really brand new content. And I'll share it to the most relevant magazines And I'll also share to social media sort of like this piece of content is live. But then I'll create additional shares. Let me show you how I do that. In this section, I'll also be sharing some tools that I use. These will also be affiliate links, just for disclosure, links down in the video description, but they're all going to be tools that I genuinely use and love. So here we have an example of turning that blog post, YouTube video, podcast episode package that I showed you about itinerary planning. I kind of summed it up, how I launched a paid itinerary planning service, into a static post. Now you see, comment library below for a copy of my itinerary planning client onboarding form sent to you by DM. Remember, that's my opt-in freebie for this post. I'm always trying to grow my email list. The way that I do this with the comment and a word is a tool called ManyChat. My affiliate link does get you 30 days free of this tool, by the way, if you want to try it out. But it really helps you increase people taking action on your calls to action, whether you're saying comment library to grab an opt-in freebie or comment Bali itinerary to get your blog post about your Bali itinerary, whatever you want people to click, this tool can really help kind of maximize those conversions. So anyway, that's how I do that. And the word doesn't have to be library, right? It could be whatever word you want it to be. I also created, based on that post, a carousel. How to start selling custom itinerary planning. You can kind of click through the steps. And I have comment itinerary below for a copy of my itinerary planning client onboarding form sent to your DMs. So again, using ManyChat. I could also create a reel, which is highly recommended. You know, if you're going to create a piece of content, I recommend trying to think about how that could be a static post, a carousel, and a reel. And then sharing those pieces of content across the platforms that make sense. If you're creating an Instagram reel, well, that could be a TikTok, that can be a Facebook reel. I mean, basically every platform at this point allows you to share vertical videos. So make sure that you are doing that. Oh, and I wanted to mention something I like to do with Instagram. This is just a little bonus tip for you to maximize your efforts, is I like to pin my most important content, especially the content that does really well. I want to make sure that as many people as possible see it, and I will always promote an opt-in freebie. I'm always trying to grow my email list. Something else I do is I create multiple pins, at least 5, that are I'm going to share them to Pinterest, and they're going to link back to my blog post. And I like to schedule these out to share at least a week apart. And they're going to each be unique with unique visuals, etc. So to do this quickly, I use a tool called Pin Generator. I actually have a whole tutorial on Pin Generator. I'll pop it in the description below. Right now, at least at the time of this recording, Pin Generator is also on an AppSumo deal, so it's always good when you can do that. So let's say we're doing that. We're going to make pins for the blog post that we're talking about itinerary planning services. Click Generate Pins, and you can tell it how many pins you want it to generate. Right now it says 12. You could have it, say any number that you want. I like to have a higher number because you might not use all of the pins. It's going to bulk create these pins for you. So first of all, it's going to show you the images it detects. I personally, this is my logo. I don't need it to do that, but maybe that image. Okay, so some of these I might use. Some of these I might use just as is. But something neat with Pin Generator, like let's say I wanted to swap that out. I could upload images. You can create AI images, but you could also use stock images. So I'm just going to say like woman traveling. Whoop. And now, you can pop in the images that you might want to use. Okay, there we go. So you can totally customize these. I mean, I don't want to do a whole pin generator tutorial right now. I already have that, like I said, but all of these are customizable. You can move things around, change fonts, change colors, etc. And then they actually have AI tools too that you can rewrite the titles and descriptions and things like that. And then you can add to queue because Pin Generator also has a scheduler. So anyway, this is the tool I use to quickly create pins. And again, I would have unique images on each pins. I just want to make that clear. Like if I'm going to use both of these templates, I would swap that in either with my own images that I upload or the stock images. This probably wasn't the best example to use for pin generator just because my blogging tutorial blog posts have a lot more like screenshots and things. If I'm creating pins for like a travel guide, like my Bali travel guide, that's going to have a lot of beautiful waterfall and tropical images. These pins would be gorgeous. So anyway, just making that clear. Another tool that I'll use during this step when I'm streamlining my social content creation workflow is Taja. Taja.ai. This is another tool that I have a tutorial on. They offer a 7-day free trial if you want to try it out. So you would just pop your your YouTube video link here, or you can upload a video. And then it's going to do a bunch of things. Let's just grab this. Here, I've already kind of done this one, so I know it's created. It will create a video title and description. You might want to tweak those. I usually tweak those. It gives some hashtag suggestions. Something I love is the chapters. That saves me a lot of time. So I'll grab those chapters. I like to put those in my video description. And it gives me some suggested tags. The thing that I really love, though, is the repurposed content. So just by feeding it that one blog post link, I got 30 YouTube shorts, 11 clips that I could use. I use them usually for my Facebook group, and then text posts. So you can just a quick look, different clips you might want to use on social media. Again, it depends on this is a like more of a talking head tutorial video. Taja works best with talking head videos. I should mention that. So anyway, there's the clips and then the shorts. And you can customize these shorts. You can edit them. There's a lot you can do. But anyway, you can see I just got, what was it again? 30 YouTube shorts. You might not use all of them, but still, even if I use 10 of these shorts, I just did that with one click. So it saves a ton of time. Now, the last tool I want to share for this section, creating your social content, is SmarterQueue. This is what I use as my social media scheduler, and my link in the video description does get you an extended free trial. Now, I'm not going to do a whole SmarterQueue deep dive tutorial. There's so many different features. I'll do that in a separate video, but I do want to show you how this can really help you streamline. So you can see you can create your posting plan based on the types of content you want to share or the certain topics you want to share about, however you want to do it. And then you could say, okay, Tuesdays at 12 p.m., I'm going to share my own blog posts. That's the category to Facebook, Threads, and Twitter. So posting plan there. And you can create your categories here. You can add your different social profiles here. But let's go to create a post for time's sake. So let's say we're just going to do, this is a blogging related post. I'm speaking to my bloggers with this strategy. And let's say I'm just going to share to all these channels. I can create content here. And I can create various text variations. I can add different images. And SmarterQueue is going to recycle them. So it'll go through all of your text variations, and you could say, okay, with each one, share all of the images, or you could have it recycle through the images. So it's totally your choice. Now, something else I like to do with this is use AI to help create some captions. Let's use ChatGPT as an example. I already did this for time's sake. I'm promoting a blog post about how to make money selling travel itineraries as a travel blogger. Here's the post with the link. Using my tips, please come up with 20 social media captions that will stop people in their scroll and encourage them to click. So then I have all these different, ones that it gave me. And what I usually will do is I'll take the ones I like and I'll say, okay, do 5 more like this, 5 more like this, 5 more like this. Like I wanted to get to know the types of ones that I like. So anyway, I'm just going to pull a few. Let's just say I like this as is. And then I can put my link here. You can also, with Facebook, do like an add a first comment. Personally, I've tried that. I get no clicks from the first comment. So I get a lot better engagement with people actually clicking over when I have an image. Not the image it pulls, but I'll add an image. So let's just choose an image from the link. So that's another feature too. And you could add multiple images. You can upload images, you can pull free stock images, or you can just pull, I'll just grab that too. And let's say you add 10 images, you could have it recycle and use one for each post. This looks bad. This is just an example, guys. I wouldn't actually have this be the images showing, but again, you could do multi-post image or vary the media. So then that would just show. And then in the next post image too would show, etc. But what I really want you to see is you could add text variations. Let's get rid of that too. The link is going to stay the same, right? So usually I'll do like 10 text variations. So I could keep pulling the ones from ChatGPT. So boom, there's that. And you just keep doing it. You've now just created 5, 10, however many you did, social posts super quickly. And SmarterQueue actually has its own AI writer. So you can use that too. I just know a lot of people use ChatGPT, so that's why I brought that up as an example. So you can get a lot of different posts really quickly. Then once you have everything you want you would just, do whatever you want. We said vary media. You can have it add to queue. You could have it add to the top or bottom. And then you can, the really cool thing is you can have it recycle after posting, meaning it will go through all of your text variations, all of your images, and then it will start from the beginning again. And this is a great way to really make sure as many people as possible actually see your posts. Now, I also want to quickly say, if you're thinking like, okay, these tools sound great, but I don't have the budget for all of them, that is okay. Think about maybe 1 or 2 that would make the most sense for you. Like maybe you're thinking, I already use Canva. Like for me, I love Canva. That's how the carousel I showed you, I have a carousel template that I use for my carousels. And Canva saved ready to go. For Pinterest though, I just still felt like even with templates, I was spending a lot of time, but maybe you're someone that does well with Pinterest pin templates in Canva, so that's going to make sense for you. Even if you use only one of these tools or none of them, simply starting with your long form content like your blog post and pulling social shares from there is going to help you save a ton of time. Finally, let's chat about step number 5. Consider the popularity of the topic. You might find that a certain topic you're sharing about resonates particularly well with your audience. Maybe then it could be something you create an opt-in freebie around, or even a product, or maybe some type of virtual event like a webinar. For me, as you can see here, I ended up doing a live stream. One of my big goals right now is to increase my YouTube views so that I can get monetized on this platform. So I've been doing live streams. When I posted that original YouTube video about launching your own paid itinerary planning, it did really, really well. I got tons of questions, tons of engagement. And so I hosted this live stream. It did really well. I had a lot of people watch live. I had a lot of people watch the replay, etc. I also sent out a survey to my email list asking if maybe they'd be interested in a digital product around launching itinerary planning. So just think about how you can then use this content topic to further grow your blogging business. This is something really neat about being a content creator is you're going to see certain topics that really resonate with your audience. You'll know because those are the things they're going to be asking you about that they want more information about. Take note of that. I've said in past videos, I keep a Google Doc of the questions people ask. And when I see a question coming up over and over, that's a good indication that, well, A, create content around it, B, create an opt-in freebie, but C, maybe there's a potential to create a product because creating your own products is such a powerful way to have more control over your income. So that's my thoughts on that. And it's just going to help you grow your business even further, even easier in the ways that people truly want, because you're going to truly see what people want from you, what questions they have, what problems they have, and then you can create solutions with them with your free and paid content. And here's a little time-saving tip. Instead of creating blog posts from scratch, which you should be creating new content, but you don't always have to create new posts. Head to your Google Analytics, look at your most popular posts, grab one, update it for accuracy, opt-ins, make sure you're promoting an opt-in freebie in there, make sure it has affiliate links in those important places, and then move through the steps that we outlined in this video. With this, you're going to be also resharing a blog post that you know people want to learn about a topic that people have already shown that they're interested in. All right, now I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you feel inspired and empowered to create a content repurposing workflow and turn one piece of content into 10 plus. Don't forget to grab access to the free travel blogger resource library linked in the video description or via the QR code on your screen. It includes 75 plus resources, all meant to help you grow your traffic, email list, and income, including this sample content plan and repurposing template that you see on the screen here. And of course, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss future videos sharing these strategies for bloggers who want to turn their blogs into profitable full-time businesses. Happy blogging!